Hello, and welcome to Conservation Skills in 10 Minutes or Less. This series of short, skill-based videos is brought to you by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's National Conservation Training Center in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. If you have a couple of minutes, pull up a chair and pick up a new conservation skill, or maybe refresh an old one, on topics ranging from fish culture to bird identification to stream restoration. Enjoy. Hello. My name is Matthew Patterson, and I'm a course leader at the National Conservation Training Center. I'm going to lead you through the skill exercise today. So what's the topic for today? Today we're talking about describing how a mantle flap works. And you're probably thinking to yourself, what is a mantle flap? Well, before I tell you what a mantle flap is, I'd like to show you an amazing video of a mantle flap in action. Then I'll play the video again and walk you through the details. Pretty amazing video, right? Now I want to describe what's going on in that video, and we're going to watch it again here in a minute. But there's a few things that you need to know first, give you some background on what's going on. And mostly, you need some background on the two major players in that video, the fish and the mussel. Now the first thing that you need to know about freshwater mussels is that they're burrowers. They don't move a whole lot. They're pretty stationary. Second, you need to know that freshwater mussels brood their larvae. Here you can see the mantle flap of the mussel, and in between that sort of mound that you see is the brood pouch of the adult female, where she broods the larval stage. And this is what those larvae look like when they're outside of the brood pouch of the adult female. The last thing that you need to know is that in almost all cases, the larval stage of freshwater mussels must attach to a freshwater fish to complete metamorphosis to the juvenile stage. So the obvious question is, how in the world does the larval stage of an animal that barely moves attach to a mobile host like a fish? Well, interestingly, Stephen Jay Gould, famous writer and Harvard professor, in his book, The Panda's Thumb, said that the relationship between the genus Lampsilus and its host fish is his favorite example of an awe-inspiring adaptation in nature. Pretty amazing, right? So let's watch that video again and break it down. We're going to play the video this time without audio, so that you can hear my descriptions of what's going on. So let's pause it right there. This is major player number one in the video, the largemouth bass. Now, largemouth bass are carnivorous, and their favorite food tends to be small fishes like minnows. And you should also know that smallmouth bass and largemouth bass tend to be commonly used host fish for freshwater mussels, especially those in the genus Lampsilus. All right, let's continue. Now here's our second major player, the female Lampsilus ovata, also called the pocketbook. She's undulating that mantle flap to entice the largemouth bass to come up close. Okay, let's pause that again. Notice the amazing mimicry here in the mantle flap. The mantle flap has eye spots and fins. It even has a lateral line down the center. Amazing. And this bass thinks so too. Clearly his mouth is watering. Let's pause it one more time. Notice here the gill tissues busting at the seams with larvae, protruding up through the mantle flap. Also notice that the flap is undulating faster. The bass is fooled and ready to strike. Then, boom. The bass is expecting lunch but gets a mouthful of larval mussels instead. So you're probably thinking to yourself right now, wow, that was an awesome video. Thanks for sharing. But I thought this series was supposed to teach me a skill. Well, it is. And the skill today was describing how a mantle flap works. It's all about communication and communicating difficult science topics to different audiences. So, the skill practice in this case, I'm assigning you a homework assignment. What I want you to do is show this video, or if you have your own video, that's fine too, to 2 different audiences. In my case, I chose an audience of scientists because this series is geared toward scientists. But if I was going to give a description of this video to my, say, 11-year-old son, I might say something totally different. So pick a couple of audiences and really think hard about the audience, and then edit your description of the video accordingly. Then, from the 2 audiences, ask for feedback. How did I do? Did it make sense? And practice the skill that way. If you want to learn more about freshwater mussels, you can take a series of courses at the National Conservation Training Center. We have Freshwater Mussel Propagation for Restoration, Freshwater Mussel Identification, and Conservation Biology of Freshwater Mussels. If you want to learn more about communicating science, I would suggest going to the NCTC website and looking up our communications training program. There are several great communication courses here, including Communicating Science and Distilling Your Message, that would help you with this particular skill exercise. And if you hang on after this video, I'll walk you through how to find all of these courses on the NCTC website. So thanks for joining us. If you have questions about this skill or any course at the National Conservation Training Center, you can contact me at the email or phone below. Thanks. Okay, as promised, I wanted to show you how to find these courses on the NCTC website. Your best bet's really to go to Google and type in National Conservation Training Center. And then go into the search bar. In this case, you can put in freshwater mussels. And here you can see Conservation Biology of Freshwater Mussels, Freshwater Mussel Propagation for Restoration. If you click one of those, it opens up to a PDF, and you have course description, course objectives, location of the course, length of the course, as well as other course links. If you want to find the communications catalog, just type in communications catalog. And this gives you that list I showed you before of courses available in communications. Thanks again for joining us for Conservation Skills in 10 minutes or less. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like or hit the subscribe button, share this video with a friend, or even check out one of the many other skill-based videos we have in this series. Have a great day, and always remember, the beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you.